Hey, I'm Carla Wehbe and I'm here with Milky and I'm going to take you through my EP, Jupiter and Mars. So track 1 is Introvert with Extroverted Expectations, and this was a song that I didn't see coming. I didn't actually plan to write it. I got thrown in a writing session with 2 people I had never worked with before, and I thought I was co-writing for one of their projects, so I didn't even know it was going to be a me song. And then they were both like, well, we just finished our album, so like, do you want to write for you? And I was like, okay. I wasn't too keen because I wasn't in a writing headspace for my own stuff. But I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And then, yeah, that happened and it ended up being a single, which is really cool. And yeah, one of my favorite songs on the EP. So that's how it happened. Is Forever Off the Table. That is a very special song to me. I wrote that with my best friends at a writing camp in Kangaroo Valley, and it was a song that I was, not having a great time at the time that we wrote the song, and I was so busy organizing the writing camp that I kind of didn't even think about what I wanted to write for my session. And so when we got there, I was like, I don't really know what to write about, guys. And then we, started playing around with chords, and then I just was looking through my phone and I found a note on my phone that said, "Is Forever Off the Table?" ? And I was like, oh, that's cool. I don't remember coming up with that, but that sounds like a really cool song title. And I said it to them and they were like, yeah, let's go with that. And then yeah, so we're sitting there. I'm going to paint the scene. We're sitting there, massive window in front of us, looking out into this incredible valley, just fields of grass. And yeah, it was a magical experience. And I think that's why we came up with something that we loved so much, because it was just, we're surrounded by nature and there's no pressure, just having fun with my best friends. And that's how that came about. Addicted to Self-Deprecation is a song that I wrote with another good friend, Liam Quinn, and we were kind of just having fun with it as well. It kind of just wrote itself naturally. He was working on production, I was just, coming up with some lyrics, and it kind of explores the whole thing of, kind of self-sabotage in a way, and desperately trying to find how you fit in, I guess. In the second verse, it talks about doing personality tests online to, see if someone else has that in common. And I've done that with all my friends, and I'm usually the one that is the odd one out with the personality tests. So it kind of just talks about that, and it's am I really in love, or am I just lonely and trying to push someone else away to feel sorry for myself again? So it's kind of, I guess, just the confusion that is existing as well. So that's, Addicted to Self-Deprecation. Knight to E5. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you will possibly remember that reference. Essentially, the concept is, okay, so the knight to E5 line in Harry Potter isn't the big wizard's chess game. The truth is, I thought that he was knight to E5 in the wizard's chess at the end, but he didn't. It's knight to H3. But I didn't want to change the title, so I kept it. But essentially, the idea is that Ron sacrifices his piece or his self to allow Harry to go on and succeed or live his life. So that's how I kind of wrote the song, with that concept. So it's me kind of sacrificing my own happiness or life, essentially, to make someone else happy. And so that's the concept of that song. It's one of the more emotional ones on the EP. The others are kind of a little bit more, even though they're not necessarily happy songs, the music kind of distracts you from the sadness of the songs, but this one kind of leans into that a little bit more. It's a very meaningful song to me. Again, wrote it with some of my best friends, which is just like a common thing that I do with my music. So yeah, I love that I have that with them. Okay, Jupiter and Mars. One of my favorite songs I've ever written. I wrote it 5 years ago, so I am over the moon that the song is coming out. Yeah, it's a really special one to me, and it has taken many forms. I wrote and produced the idea in, it was 5 years ago? 2018. Yes. And if you listen to the initial voice memo of the song when I was coming up with the idea, it's almost unrecognizable. But it's a song that, like I said, I've worked on it for 5 years, and it, not straight. I mean, that would be a little bit absurd, but over time, just I came back to it and I visited it and, kept working on it. And then I sat with Robbie, who is a very close collaborator of mine, and we just made it into everything I had hoped for it. And like, I've played this one live a fair bit recently, and for some reason it just connects with people. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm not sure why, but like specifically this one just seems to connect with people, and so I'm really excited to just share that. Finally, it's my family's favorite song of mine as well, and they've always been like, you need to release that song, and I'm like, I know, it's just I can't yet, and they're like, why? And I'm like, it's just, things take time, so I feel like it's the right time now, and I'm just so excited to share it with everyone. I would say introvert with extrovert expectations would probably be a Leo, and hear me out. So I'm a Leo, and I feel like Leos have this thing about them where people think they're so confident and they're so out there and so loud and so, like vain, and they have that kind of boisterous personality. But a lot of the time, and a lot of the Leos that I know actually have a very kind of introverted personality, but they can come across like that, and they kind of, like their own time and, their own space. So I feel like introvert is that, because it's this, grand song, and it's got these, massive strings and big drums and whatever, but essentially it's just a little introvert that wants to stay home. Is forever off the table. Okay, that would be, actually no, I changed my mind. I was going to say Sagittarius, but I don't think that's it. It's definitely a fire sign. You know what is forever off the table is an Aries, I would say. They're fiery. I feel like this song just like comes in, they have that like emotional side to them, but they just come in, they're very spontaneous, very fiery, and I feel like they're very... A lot of my best friends are Aries, or a lot of the people that I attract most are Aries. So I feel like introvert and is forever go very well together. So based on that also, I'm going to say it's an Aries. Okay, addicted to self-deprecation would be a Pisces, because they are fairly sensitive, and I feel like that song just is kind of like exploring the whole, sensitivity of like, do I fit in? Do I not? Like, does anyone like me? And I feel like the whole, like the chorus, how it's like, am I just trying to push someone else away from me again? It's giving a bit of Pisces. 9-5 is Cancer. It's emotional. It's just straight up emotional, and I feel like all the Cancers that I know they lead with their emotions. So that's an easy one. Well, I feel like Jupiter and Mars has to be Gemini, only because you got like the two things, like the twins, which I feel like they say like it's like two contrasting kind of sides of, you know, a person or whatever. And yeah, Jupiter and Mars are kind of like, they're connected, but they're obviously separate. And this explanation is not very good. But I would say it's Gemini.